GM crypto news analysis here. It is February 3rd. And before I get into this video, I was going to say another thing to talk about in this video are buy or sell signals, buy energy takers, all of them my own conviction for where I think the current market direction is going, and that I am not being paid to talk about any of these tickers. So let's just get on with the price action really quick. So I just want to cover majors really quick. So we probably just had one of the largest liquidation events in history in crypto. So Bitcoin, for example, it was following the lower line as we really didn't want this line to happen. We wanted this line to happen, but it bounced from the bottom here from the red square that I drew the other day, and it liquidated down to 91K, which is fucking insane. Went from 109 to 91K in like a day. Like, what the fuck? This is insanely volatile. A lot of people got executed down here, completely liquidated, a lot of traders, and everyone was in peak fear. Every fucking coin in the world was down. Now they're up, of course, and I'm gonna talk about why alts are bouncing here a bit later. But Bitcoin recovered extremely well from the 91K back up to 102K, and it could honestly just do another god candle in the next couple hours up to this green range here in the upper range. I don't know if it's strong enough to rally past here. We're probably gonna have to see some sort of grind higher before Bitcoin finally rallies upwards into perhaps 150K-ish, which is what a lot of financial experts are saying, where it's probably going to hit, which, yeah, 150K is very high probability. Anything higher than that is probably due to speculation. And if that happens, then our altcoins will go even fucking higher. But Bitcoin looks very nice. It was looking absolutely horrible. Everyone was applying to McDonald's. They're like, okay, is this over? Like, a lot of people, they got completely wrecked, liquidated, executed. And Ethereum, for example, one of the most insane candles of all time. It went from 3.1K to 2.1K, a 40% pullback on a major in Ethereum in one day. A lot of people got absolutely executed here. I saw this in real time when this happened. I was like, what? And personally, I'm not experienced as a trader just yet like that. So when I saw this happen, I was like, is this the end? Like, I was just paralyzed in fear. I was like, what? And that's obviously something I need to work on, but I didn't super panic sell my bags or anything because I knew we'll be fine here. And if anything, I actually bought a little bit more down there and I'm up from those. But yeah, very nice. And Ethereum is actually recovering quite nicely. And honestly, we could actually expect some sort of V-shaped recovery from this. And I'll cover that a little bit later because of some later news. And I'm just going to say there's definitely some market manipulation going on by the US government. And a lot of this is because of fear of a tariff war. I mean, Donald Trump, he's out here tariffing everywhere in China, Mexico, Canada, and the market, they don't like this uncertainty. And as a result of that, a lot of people are shitting their pants, panic selling, and eventually led it into this liquidation cascade down to 91K. And Ethereum absolutely executed. Solana in comparison also executed. And honestly, Solana, it could do V-shaped recovery, honestly. Like, V-shaped recoveries are very rare, but what we just experienced in crypto was probably one of the most rarest opportunities ever there, where this literally went to 2.1K. Absolutely insane, dude. Generally insane. A lot of coins got fucking raped. But let's just look at the liquidation heat map, by the way. So Bitcoin, where I think the future price action is going to be in the next few days. So of course, I'm not an oracle. As you can see at the bottom side, there's some liquidation, or if I can, I know you can't see it, but there is some liquidity parked around here at around 98K. It's possible that this could retract downwards to here. As you guys can see, there's a lot of liquidity hot in here, but there's also some very good chance that if there's some really good news from the Donald Trump around tariffs, because he keeps going back and forth about his tariffs. At first, before he was enacted in presidency, he was like, okay, I'm going to enact all the tariffs and we're going to make America great again. And then he actually implemented them and he delivered on what he was saying going to do, but everyone is shading their pants for some reason. But you got to realize that tariffs, they're bad for Bitcoin in short term, but long term, they're very good. But as we can see from this, the market is extremely illogical about it, shit their pants about that news. And now that there's some news that Donald Trump is actually going backwards on his tariffs, it's actually bouncing a bit, and perhaps it could grind higher from here. Obviously, Bitcoin went up a lot in the day, pretty much up 11% from the lows. And what I'm biased for is that perhaps we could see a bit of a retest to like 98K possibly, or it could just shoot back up to here in this upper range here and then chill there a bit, do a little bit of chop, and then we could see a rally pretty early on, which would be really fucking amazing for our altcoins. And if we also talk about Bitcoin dominance, for example, so Bitcoin dominance is absolutely going to the moon. He's like David Goggins right now, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just go-to like that. But now Bitcoin dominance actually, so it was all the way up here, but it actually retraced a bit, and it's because of some altcoin pumps like Ethereum, Solana, and also within the meme coins. So let's look at the meme coins, for example. So MLG, for example, I don't have this one, but this one's going to the moon, bro. This is going absolutely insane style. I'm pretty messed up about this play. Obviously, you can't catch them all, but I was thinking, oh, maybe I should buy it down here when it was about a million or some shit. Let's not talk about that, man. But yeah, this is going to the moon right now. Maybe this could do another leg to 2x. We'll see what the fuck is going to happen. But a lot of tokens were looking really bad. So Solana meme coins, for example, Popcat, it was down at 180 million because of Solana bullcrap. And then now it's recovering a bit. Obviously, it's not that strong in comparison. The Solana meme coins are actually the weakest out of all of them. You would see this green and you'd be like, oh, wow, looks really good. But if you actually look at perhaps base meme coins, so I rave about base meme coins a lot. Keycat up a lot from the bottoms here. So it was at 33 million here, retesting the bottoms, and now it broke out of the range, and it looks like it's going to retest the breakout line. But I just want to point out something interesting with Keycat. So I'm a super avid fan of Keycat here. I have a pretty big bag, and as we can see here, I want to point this out where last time where it tried to break out, the range. So I drew this descending wedge here based off of diagonal support and resistance zones. And as you can see from here, it's respecting it pretty well so far. But as we can see, last time we were in this zone where it completely got fucking raped into this descending wedge and it broke out. It broke out into 5 daily candles in a row. And currently we are at this stage. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it does the same ass thing and Keycat does something like this. Honestly, it'll be absolutely insane. I hope that happens, but it could be some weird fuckery Bitcoin that completely denies it. But if things go well and Ethereum actually does V-shaped recovery from here and goes to the moon, then it's actually a possibility for Keycat, and we could see some 10x God candles. But of course, just wait for this. You gotta wait a little bit of confirmation. Of course, it will be completely guaranteed if it went above like 100 million or something. But I mean, I can't say guaranteed, but base meme coins look extremely strong. Keycat is amongst one of the strongest. Mr. Miggles is very, very good. Ski, actually not as strong as Keycat. And Dog and Me, pretty strong. And also Toshi up 50% as one of the biggest base meme coins. So very, very nice days to be on base and on Solana in comparison. So it is actually a little bit whatever. So Michi. Okay, Michi was down here. I was really thinking about if I should buy it down here at like 17 million. And now it's all the way up here. Obviously, I think this candle doesn't just stop here. It probably continues a bit, at least to maybe 50 mil. What's going to happen? But Michi looks pretty bad. I did a bit of charting on this. Some Elliott wave theory practice. This should be up in the long run. So if you are a Michi holder, don't worry, man. You're going to be just fine. But look at the base AI coins in comparison. So I know I'm super talking about price action, but a lot of the base AI coins are recovering quite nicely. So Virtuals has been, for the longest time, been completely fucked. And I was saying that if it doesn't hold this line here, it's screwed. But it is bouncing actually a little bit from here. And it's possible that Virtuals could retest the line once again to fill the inefficiency a bit. But honestly, right now, Virtuals hopefully consolidates here before its next leg. And currently for AI coins, I'm still biased that they aren't going to do super pumps, V-shaped recovery quite immediately. I'm still biased for some sort of sideways price action for the next few days, weeks, before we start another fucking leg on Virtuals, perhaps to even, I don't know, 10 billion or some shit. But the next leg on base AI is going to be absolutely amazing. And I don't have any AI coins just yet. I will be looking into them as the next days go on. But another thing about this is that a lot of coins did a V-shaped recovery from the bottom, at least a huge relief rally. And I did say in the last video that there is some possibility of some relief pump because of what we're trying to see within Bitcoin's price action, where it seems like it's a bit manipulated here. And Donald Trump, he's probably the most pro-crypto president of all time, and he's not going to make his market die. So he could be behind the scenes with the tariffs, and he's doing the fuckery to make people feel bad. I mean, there's obviously some sort of crime happening here where a lot of people are capitulating at the bottom while Donald Trump is packing his bags, perhaps, or even his friends, and then all of the shit, right? But you got to realize that within altcoins here, most likely not a V-shaped recovery. We're going to have to see some consolidation a bit. And I think, at least for the next few weeks, we actually will see some bullish upside for altcoins. So Virtuals, for example, are being quite nice. But Bitcoin, for now, it looks like it wants to grind higher. And from the Bitcoin dominance as well, though. I mean, if Bitcoin dominance, I mean, if you look at this, it looks quite bullish, the Bitcoin dominance. It's going to keep grinding higher. So Bitcoin's most likely going to go higher, while the altcoins probably not as much in comparison. But altcoins, they should be fine from here. We thought they would be a lot worse when Bitcoin was down here at 91K. And we thought that, okay, well, it's possible that Bitcoin could retest the lows into 80K, and that would be really fucking bad. We're going to have to see an extended bit of a choppy action here. But since it recovered quite nicely, we're actually going to see some sort of a sooner price action for our coins here. So base AI coins, a lot of them are up on the day. One of the strongest I want to point out is Accolade. Accolade's pretty much up 2.5x from the bottom. This is at 30 million. This is literally one of the strongest base AI coins. So absolutely insane. But a lot of tokens, so Accolade's probably the exception to the rule here, but a lot of them got so fucking destroyed. So Game, for example, Game, it's up from the bottom, but not as much as Accolade because it's been so fucking destroyed. This has to go maybe grind a bit higher before it does another fucking breakout. But yeah, you could start to dollar cost average into these AI coins. Of course, everything is up on the day, but I am probably more biased, at least in the next few days. We'll see a little bit of a correction once again on altcoins, but honestly, they've gone down so much, so the correction won't be that deep. But in any case, in the midterm, in the next few weeks, they should grind much, much higher. So prices like these, quite amazing to prepare yourself for Bitcoin when it does eventually break out of its range in the next few weeks and does a rally, maybe goes to 150K, and then Bitcoin dominance at a point when it tops out. Alt season can start around March-ish. Like, I'm still biased that alt season is going to happen in March, not in February. But in the meantime, altcoins should grind higher because of the bullish BTC price action, because of Ethereum as well. It should also go a bit higher as well. I'm going to talk about that some later in some other tweets, but overall, very, very nice in base AI. Solana AI in comparison, extremely, extremely good as well. So ARK, extremely, extremely strong, recovered quite nicely from the bottom. So take a look at the really strong infra AI coins. These ones are most likely going to bounce the hardest even more. So look at the ones that have the highest percentages, like Accolade obviously is absolutely insane here. And Vader recovering quite nicely. Ray Game, very, very nice. But also look at the base meme coins. So base meme coins and base AI and Solana AI are amongst the top 3 that are the strongest. So there are some Solana meme coins that you could play that are extremely bottomed. So I was looking at some of them and oh wow, this is going quite nicely. I'm not advocating for the shit coin, but I bought a little bit of this because just as a beta to MLG, we'll see what's going to happen to it. But I'm up on this so far, quite interesting. But yeah, so far, a lot of coins are doing quite nicely. Just in, Mexican President Sheinbaum says tariffs from the United States are delayed for a month after discussion of President Trump. So yeah, this is one of the catalysts that actually super helped the price action of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, of course, quite nice. And this news happened because of the tariffs. People are shitting their pants about tariffs. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so uncertain for the markets and looking super bad. This is quite good. There's obviously going to be some sort of backlash. So you got to realize Donald Trump is one of the best businessmen in the world. I mean, how else can he become president? So he has the power of very, very strong negotiation. And when you're that type of person, you're such a really good negotiator, then Donald Trump most likely he's going to be doing some weird fuckery and keeping people uncertain because that's a superpower within negotiation. So I won't be surprised if he actually goes back on his tariffs and does this weird fuckery and then Bitcoin actually dumps again because people are just so indecisive. They're like, okay, what is Donald Trump actually going to do? So this volatility within the cryptocurrency majors here even, so that's going to trickle down to the altcoins. You got to realize that this is going to not be just a one-day thing and that we're going to see even more of these within the next few months of this presidency. I mean, we had Donald Trump for 4 years. We got to deal with this for 4 years, dude. It was just weird uncertainty with his global politics. So this is not the ending, is what I'm trying to say here. He's probably going to do some weird fuckery. So look at this tweet. 2 weeks in, Mexico caved, Panama caved, Colombia caved, Venezuela caved, Canada panicking, mass deportations, mass hostages are home, the programs ended, bureaucracy slashed, FBI purges are underway, U.S. aid funding canceled, gender ideology eliminated, Doge already saved billions, 51 intel agents lost clearance, border crossings dropped by 93%, reservoirs filled up in California, just to name a few developments. So yeah, Donald Trump. So I'm not trying to get super political in this video, but Donald Trump, what's really good about him as a president is that he's actually delivering on what he was trying to promise. And the fact is that he's actually, he was going to develop these things. And a lot of presidents, when they get into office, they're kind of just like doing jack shit. Like Joe Biden, for example, he wasn't really delivering that much on what he was going to say. And as a result, he was a bit of a lacking presidency. But Donald Trump, the fact that he's doing this within 2 weeks in, all of this shit is absolutely insane. I don't even think this dude is sleeping. But another thing you can speculate about this is that he might actually develop on his own crypto promises, because we got to remember, Donald Trump, he was trying to make crypto so fucking amazing. So the fact is that we're probably going to see perhaps even Bitcoin strategic reserves, perhaps. It could happen. I mean, right now it's more of a digital asset reserve, so it's a bit of a flip-flop. But currently it's looking quite nice for these tokens here, or these moments here for Donald Trump. So crypto is going to be quite good speculatively. So let's look at the next tweet. For 99% of people, the best advice is never touch leverage. Too many people got fully liquidated during a 12-hour trade war in a bull. Trump adds volatility to markets and doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, but the above still applies. So yeah, most of you guys should not be touching leverage at all. By the way, leverage is a means of capital efficiency. So you don't put your whole fucking portfolio into leverage and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get so much more gains. You gotta realize that you're also infinitely more exposed to risk and downside in comparison to upside. The risk is far greater than the upside if you leverage your whole portfolio. So leverage is only optimally applied when you only do it for a smaller amount of portfolio. So if we use a barbell theory, we have 90% in safe assets, 10% in risky assets. If you got a barbell, you can do like 10% with your money in leverage. And obviously there's a range of how much leverage you should do for each altcoin and Bitcoin. But from what I've seen, I think Bitcoin is the optimal leverage for that. At least from an investing perspective, it's about 4x. And then for Solana, Ethereum, it's a bit shaky. I think Ethereum is 3x and then Solana is 2x. But obviously leverage, what's kind of weird about it is that it really fucks your brain, and it puts this liquidation price where if it goes below a certain price, then you lose all your money completely. At least if you're in spot, your money could actually come back up. So it actually helps your brain here. But this leverage, it's essentially hyper amplifies your emotions here, which is not good for a lot of traders. And a lot of people, they got completely wiped out, as I said earlier, with this Ethereum price. So most of you guys shouldn't touch it. Personally, I don't really touch it. I want to learn it later on as in terms of trading, because I want to get to a point where I can trade majors as well instead of being in the altcoin trenches all the fucking time. But when the time comes for that and I learn some leverage, then I could probably give some tips for that, more specific ones. But yeah, let's get on to the next tweet. LLMs compete for users as DeepSeek R1 takes reasonable market share from OpenAI's ChatGPT. Meanwhile, AI still dominates crypto Twitter mindshare of 34% despite dipping 4%. So look at this. AI is 34% mindshare, memes 13%, DeFi 11%. So yeah, AI still takes a lot of that mindshare within crypto Twitter, and AI is just starting to recover as well in comparison. So virtuals, yeah, I think virtuals is still the best AI sector, and it's gonna, the next leg on this is gonna be monstrous. So I hope you guys are at least prepared for it. I don't think it's gonna happen like super time soon, V-shaped recovery of course, but it's gonna be very nice for virtuals. So I plan to be there when it happens, and I'll tell you when I believe it. But also just look at the infra coins. Infra coins will be the highest liquidity. But besides that, yap, AI is going to be amazing. So let's look at the next tweet. One reason I'm unconcerned with price action is because this downturn is all due to Trump blustering and wagering terror war. One, he said there will be short-term pain, and two, we are not going to tolerate a full market crash staying his regime. I'm looking for some sort of upcoming agreements which restore confidence and boomerang this market, in my honest opinion. So yeah, this was released earlier today, and he was completely right, because Donald Trump is actually negotiating in Mexico and is not actually going to enact tariffs and is going to do some other shit. So yeah, he was right on this, and it was also my own suspicion yesterday where perhaps there's going to be some sort of weird fuckery of Donald Trump, and that this is not actually the super bear market start, and that we're actually going to be quite fine. Like I said in the last video, don't capitulate. It's going to be quite fine. If anything, just you either hold if you have no fucking money, or you deploy like rapidly. But let's see the next tweet. The best part about the ETH capitulation, the president of the United States is now a fellow community member. So this is, of course, made when Ethereum was absolutely at its pits. Now it's recovered quite nicely, pretty much up almost 40% from the bottom. And yeah, Donald Trump, he holds most of his money in crypto in ETH. Let's just keep that in mind. So, of course, he's also a bag holder, and he wants to pump his own bags, and he probably has that chance of doing so. So let's see the next tweet. Nobody plays the game of chicken better than Trump. So let's read this. I just spoke with President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico. It was a very friendly conversation wherein she agreed to immediately supply 10,000 Mexican soldiers on the border separating Mexico and the United States. These soldiers will be specifically designated to stop the flow of fentanyl and illegal migrants into our country. We further agreed to immediately pause the anticipated tariffs for a 1-month period, during which we will have negotiations headed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent, and Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, and high-level representatives of Mexico. I look forward to participating in those negotiations with President Sheinbaum as we attempt to achieve a deal between our two countries. So yeah, Donald Trump, he is quite a good negotiator, as I was saying before. So this next tweet, we just witnessed the biggest one-day liquidation in crypto history. 800 billion in market cap was lost in a matter of hours, and total liquidations hit 2 billion. Not even the collapse of FTX or March 2020 saw liquidations like this. So yeah, one of the greatest liquidation events. And when we lived through it, we were living quite literally in history. So let's look at the next tweet. Daily's green. You can't make this shit up. So look at this. This is the wildest ETH candle I have seen in the 8 years I've been here. Look at this, bro. Down to 2.1, and now it's closing green on the day. Just barely. It's absolutely insane, bro. As we all know from meme coins, the higher the attention goes in a meme coin, the higher the price goes in a fart coin, where this shit, it's a fart coin. Well, the higher it goes, the funnier it gets. So it's quite literally the greatest flywheel of all time for fart coin. Obviously, I don't have this, but this token is just so funny in my opinion. But that's pretty much all I'm saying. Just crypto AI news and analysis, and yeah, it's going to be quite good. Bitcoin recovered quite nicely from its large liquidation event. What I suggest you guys to do as an action step is that, of course, well, I would say dollar cost average. It's if you didn't buy anything at the bottom and now you want to buy things at the top here, at least locally, it's a bit difficult to say that. But if anything, you have capital, dollar cost average into what I would recommend: Virtuals AI and base memes. Solana AI already went up a lot. You can find some Solana gems, but I don't really like Solana AI that much. But also, Solana memes are not that strong, honestly. They will come back, but I think they'll be coming back somehow last. But if Solana does do the V-shaped recovery from its bottom, then Solana meme coins will go fucking nuts. But Solana AI as well will also go nuts. So you just do both. Personally, I'm more bullish on base because Ethereum compared to Solana is probably going to go first because it's a higher market cap. And that means base coins going to go absolutely insane. Base AI is still really fucking bottomed right now. But in comparison, base memes are extremely good as well. So let's just look at like KeyCat. I love KeyCat, this token, for example. And looks like this should be bottom locally. Or maybe it could retest the middle zone here before it goes back up. But KeyCat, I super like this token, by the way. And you could also look at the other ones, Miggles. So Miggles is a bit of a, I think it's a little scammy because it is a Coinbase token. But that could also mean they're going to list this one next, because they did list Toshi, which Coinbase fucking loves. And Toshi's, it should go much higher, billions, into the next weeks or so. And when that happens, then base memes, you know what's going to happen to them, man? They're going to go to the moon. So you guys better be prepared for this. But as we all know, in times like these, you want to focus on perhaps, honestly, if the tokens go even higher, like Ethereum does even higher and everything goes higher, Bitcoin's at upper ranges, then even betas, the smaller caps, will go really fucking hard. Right now, it's of course the larger caps first and then some niche mid caps. But if we get some sort of correction, then the high caps are going to be the strongest while the low caps are going to be sold off. So at this point, does dollar cost average at a high caps, if anything? But if things look really better, then you could look at that super higher beta plays, because those will also go up too. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys.